So, welcome to Love and Money Secrets TV. And I have with me today Samuel Chong, and I want to introduce him to you because he is going to be a speaker at the BIOMED Expo in Los Angeles, the 11th to the 14th at the Sonesta Hotel. We get to share the platform together. We'll be speaking at different times. So, Samuel, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule and joining us here live on YouTube and Zoom, and shortly we'll be putting this replay on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, etc. Where are you tuning in from?
I'm actually based in Los Angeles, and yes, very close to you. And I'll be speaking about the traditional Chinese medicine and also the knowledge that I learned from the book The Yoga Prophecy, the messages from the ETs, who they also mentioned about a lot of the ways we can improve our health and also our well-being.
Ooh, so let's talk a little bit more about that. And I know you're going to be uncovering and unveiling some pretty interesting secrets during the Biomed Expo. So just kind of give our viewers a little bit of a peek preview, if you will, about, in my opinion, I think traditional Chinese medicine is all the buzz. The last 10 years, it's finally come onto the awareness of mainstream individuals. And people are more than ever open and receptive to traditional Chinese medicine, and doctors, PhDs in traditional Chinese medicine. I've been using it for quite some time myself. And so would you kind of peel back the curtain, kind of give us a peek as to what it is more specifically that you're talking about and what they can anticipate during your talk that might get people to want to get their bums out of their sofas and get themselves, a ticket so they can listen to you talk in LA?
Yes, definitely. Traditional Chinese medicine focuses on the energy field of the human body because in the ancient times, the doctors in the past could see the blockages in the energy flows so that they could use acupuncture to remove the blockages. And then, but later on, some of the doctors lost the ability. So that's why they developed this kind of meridian system in the Chinese acupuncture. Based on the symptoms, they would point the needles into certain pressure points. But that's when they lost the ability to see the human energy fields. They also used the traditional Chinese medicinal herbs to improve the energy fields of human bodies, meaning that each herb has a different vibration. So when you boil the different herbs, mix up different herbs into water, the water becomes the carrier of different vibrations. And in addition to the chemical components of the herbs, the vibrations and also the chemical properties of the herbs work kind of hand in hand together to improve the well-being or the health of the patient. So this is why some people say that they have more effect drinking the herbal teas than just eating the Chinese medicinal tablets. So this is the reason why, because the water, the liquid, is a carrier of different vibrational medicines.
So I absolutely love that you're bringing this up at this time because I think people are really unaware of how powerful water is and about the vibrational frequency of water and how everything is frequency and vibration. And when you have good quality water and you're pairing it with these tinctures, give us some examples of some of the things that they create tinctures that then they create teas or I don't want to call it a potion, but basically you're taking the purest form of that substance in liquid form and you're adding it to water.
Yes, and this actually can be proven by modern scientific science is that uh, people have been able to observe different vibrational frequencies of the body. And I think there are devices in which the human energy field can be detected.
Yes.
And I think the ETs from the book Theoba try to focus us on the human energy field, the auras of the people, in order to improve our health. And actually, there are different products on the market too, like the patches from LifeWave is actually one of them. It's kind of reflects the human body energy field into the into the skin, and also the ingredients of the patches have chirality properties like left hand and right handedness. So that's kind of an interesting product on the market. So I think if people look into the chi, the energy, or the human energy field, they can know better how to improve their health in general, because the changes in human energy field come earlier than the changes of the physical body of a person. I can give you one example. For example, a former NASA scientist called Barbara Brennan, she was able to see the colors of the auras using her naked eyes. And then one time she saw like a grayish color in the liver area of her friend. A few months later, her friend was diagnosed of liver cancer. So if she was able to improve the field of the liver before the physical symptoms manifested, then her friend wouldn't have been able to, wouldn't get the liver cancer anymore. So that's the importance of the human energy field or aura.
I love what you're saying because there's so much packed in here. So let's dive in a little bit deeper because as you may or may not be aware, I am a neurosomatic practitioner and I repattern the brain from physical and emotional trauma. And I use stem cell activation patches to as a tool to help people restore their bodies to a younger, healthier state. Now, you talked about something that is so important about the frequency and the vibration, not just in the patches, but you also talked about the chirality, and it has to do with the left and the right hand movement. Would you mind elaborating on that? Because I think that this is really quite fascinating. And I want people to think about inside your body. If you were to take your outside eyes and turn them inward and look inside your body, and you were to look at your DNA structure, you would see that there's a chirality, there's a helix structure. There's that figure-8 structure, which I know that you, Samuel, will be able to elaborate on. Take it away.
Well, I have to use the simplest terms to explain to the audience because organic chemistry is kind of a very difficult concept for a lot of people. So if people know about chirality is that even though they have the same chemical component, they may have different structures. Some structure is left hand, some structures is right hand, and some of the properties of left hand chirality are really, really effective at certain things, but the right hand structure or chirality is not that effective. So when you have the same chemical kind of component, you also have to pay attention to the chirality or the left-handedness or the right-handedness of that same component in order to be more focused on your purpose. So that's kind of a very interesting concept that I think the inventor of certain products have found out. So I think that's something that people should pay attention to.
I agree with you. It is something that people should pay attention to. And in your opinion, do you think that this chirality, just so people don't, so that people know, like chiropractics, that means that it's manipulation by hand. It's the practicum of hand manipulation. So chirality is just saying it's, again, the hands. So when we're talking about the chirality, in your professional opinion, does chirality go hand in hand with a negative and a positive energy, kind of like the yin and the yang, the up and the down concept of energy?
Yes, exactly. This is the concept of the Chinese medicine or traditional Chinese medicine, and so that there is yin and there's a yang, and they go hand in hand, and you cannot have like too much yin or too much yang. They have to be balanced in your human body. And in modern physics, and people have found out that there's a concept of a torsion field. And in torsion field, there's also like there's a positive field and there's a negative field, and they have to be balanced as well. So I think once for all, everything will be connected to each other. Organic chemistry, traditional Chinese medicine, modern physics, I think everything is connected to each other.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you that everything is connected with each other. So would you mind sharing also and talking about, we're not going to go much further here. I just want to give people a taste of what is to come, because I think they're going to be literally on the edge of their seats going, oh my gosh, I can't believe what's coming out of Samuel's mouth when they hear you speak in Los Angeles. I'm just very excited about this. I'm hoping that you're not speaking at the same time that I'm speaking, because I definitely want to be in one of those chairs when you have your talk, because you are speaking my language. So I want you to address the issue of, we talked about water. And I think that I'm going to speak from an American perspective because I think here in the US, people kind of poo-poo water. They don't really understand the power of water. And yet our DNA is 92% composed of water. And that water in our DNA has chirality. It has a positive and a negative charge. It is, in fact, what holds up the DNA structure. 92% composition water kind of goes to show you how important water is down to the DNA strands. So can you address that from your perspective and how you see things playing out? Because that torsion field, that vortex, that toroidal field is in our DNA. It's in everything inside of our bodies, and people aren't aware it's actually outside of our bodies too. Would you elaborate on that?
Yes, I kind of look at a lot of the specific evidence in order to come out with a conclusion. And there's a Iranian person with special abilities to heal a lot of people around him. And he says that he can concentrate his mind or energy into water so that the water can become a carrier of his healing ability. And the person who drinks the water will be able to be healed very effectively, just as if he treated that person in person. So, and also a Japanese scientist also discovered that water has certain structures, and if you send positive messages to water, the structure looks very beautiful. If you send negative, like anger or hatred to water, then the structure it becomes broken, very ugly. So I think water has this kind of property. And actually, in practical sense, the best way to drink healthy water is to have kind of water to be placed in the sun, under the sunshine, because the light is sunlight has a full spectrum of different frequencies. And if you put the water under sunshine for maybe like 15 or 20 minutes and then drink the water, I think it's going to give you a lot of beneficial or health benefits. This coincides with a pastor in Eastern Europe, and who observed that people swimming in rivers being healed of different chronic diseases. And this is because the water, the flowing water in the river is under sunshine, and then that's the life water that has healing properties. This is also serves as a proof for a river in India. I think it's called the Ganges water in India, that a lot of people go into the water, into the river, believing that the river has healing properties. But nowadays, people who can read auras say that that river lost the property because too many people polluted the water. But in natural, like in nature, when you have like a river that's under the sunshine, when it's flowing, maybe like a hot spring or something, it definitely will have healing properties because it absorbs all the full spectrums of the sunlight.
So I love what you're talking about. I never thought about taking my water and putting it in the sunshine, like you suggested, for 10, 15 minutes. The light bulb just went on because I keep on telling humans, and we're primarily water, right? We come out of the mother's womb about 82% water, and the average 60-year-old is about 55% water. And I'm telling people, get out in the morning after sunrise, before 10 o'clock in the morning, and get that natural vitamin A, vitamin B from sunshine that you're going to get not only through your eyes, but also through your skin. But now you're bringing to my awareness, it's like, hey, I can be taking my water and I can be taking it outside in the morning and putting it in that same very sunshine. And I'm realizing a couple things that I hadn't thought about before as you were speaking. And I think a lot of other people, as they listen to this broadcast, are going to go, hey, wait a minute. That's right. Water that's going through a river is in the sunshine, getting that light spectrum of UVA, UVB. My understanding from my teacher, Dr. Jack Kruse, is that we have from 380 to 780 UVB light spectrum in the morning. So you have the water that's constantly getting that, right? And then it's also flowing over all these rocks and minerals that are natural, that are clean, that are there. And it's also because it's also has the earth. It also has the negative ions that are coming naturally from the earth and the tree root systems that are coming in around the soil. So there's so many different beneficial factors from that water that is actually alive. It's not dead water, like microwaved water is dead water, but this is truly live water in on many, many different dimensions.
Exactly. So this is like a free medicine that's provided by nature. You don't have to spend a lot of money on different products, and this is the best medicine that you can get.
Oh my gosh, Samuel. Well, I know that I could talk to you for at least another hour or two, if not the rest of the evening, but I know you have other things to do. And I do want to pick your brain some more. And I would love, absolutely adore, to have you come back after the expo and have you share more insights because my patients, my clients, my tribe, my directors, my managers that I have working with me on my team, we would love to learn from your body of wisdom and the experience that you have. I can tell that you have some extraordinary wisdom to share with the world. And I'm so honored that I get to speak on stage with you, not at the same time, but we're both going to be speaking at the BIOMED Expo. And I am keeping my fingers crossed that I will be speaking at a different time so I could be in the front row listening to you with my pen and with my notebook to take lots of notes and learn a lot from you. So thank you for honoring me tonight and coming on to this broadcast, which we didn't plan in advance. We just connected on Facebook, both as speakers. I put the invitation out to you and your heart was open. And you said, yes, I'll do this live with you. And here we are.
Thank you so much for having me, giving me this opportunity, and let's do something great together.
Yes, let's do something great together. Take care, Samuel. Have a beautiful rest of your evening.
Thank
Ciao for
you.
now, my friends and gems.